Customer match within your Google Ads campaigns is probably one of the most powerful features that you could be using on your Google Ads campaigns to get even stronger performance. In this video, I'm going to be talking all about what Google Customer Match is, as well as sharing some use cases, eligibility requirements, as well as take you through the step-by-step process of actually setting up your customer match lists. So if you're interested, definitely watch until the end because I'm going to show you a tutorial on how I go about setting up these lists. And if you're new here, my name is Michelle. I'm the founder of Level 28 Media, and I help local service-based businesses generate leads from Google Ads. So if you are interested in an audit or managed services and you're spending at least $2,000 a month, check out the link below and I'd be more than happy to have a discussion with you. Now let me take you through what Customer Match is. Think about Customer Match as uploading a list of your own customers into Google Ads. Google calls this, or in the internet universe, this is called first-party data. This is data that you own because it's data that you've collected from your own customers. You get your list of customers, their emails, their phone numbers, their addresses. Then you put them in a spreadsheet, upload them into the Google Ads interface, and then Google will do its magic in order to connect users from your list to the internet. And then Google then will give you the ability to target these users from the list within the Google Search Network, YouTube, Shopping, Performance Max, and Display Network. So basically, you'll be able to target ads in the Google universe to these specific users from this list that you've compiled based off of user permissions. And you're going to be able to have specific messaging that you can write to these users and target with potential upsells or new offers. I want to talk about some use cases here. So with Customer Match, here's a couple different use cases. One, let's say you are a home service company with a list of previous customers and you have a new service that you want to promote, or you have a service that something that someone might want to do every 3 to 6 months. Then you can actually set up ads within Google Customer Match and target ads to people that have previously been customers of yours or are currently customers of yours to then potentially come back and sign up for this new offer, for this service or existing service that you have to offer. Another option and use case for Customer Match is if you're a B2B SaaS company and you have a list of customers for a specific product. Let's say they were using a specific software and then now you have another software that offers something adjacent to it. You can then upload your list into Google Customer Match and have Google find these users, and then you'll be able to target your ads to these users for this new service or software that you have to offer that's adjacent to the one that you're currently offering. Something else that you can do is also upload your customer match list into Google Ads and set up what's called lookalike audiences based off of the characteristics of your list. Google will then find users that have similar makeup or characteristics of the users on that list to then serve to the lookalike audiences. So that's another option. And then finally, the last option here for a use case would be, let's say you're a solar company and you want to exclude previous customers because solar is pretty much a once in a lifetime purchase. So you don't want to be wasting money on previous customers to try to promote your solar panels to because they've already purchased from you. So you could set up a customer match list to exclude previous customers. So three things that you could do. You can target your customers, you can create similar audiences of your customers, or you can also exclude your customers. Those are the three main things that you can do within Google Customer Match. Now let me take you through the eligibility requirements here. So for the eligibility requirements, your account must have a good history of compliance and a good payment history. So if you've been suspended for any reason or you haven't been keeping up to date on your payments, Google is not going to allow you to opt into the customer match feature. And in fact, it's not really an opt-in. Google will just give you the option to use it or not. So if you are not compliant with the payments and also not compliant with the rules of Google and your account has been suspended, it's very unlikely that you'll be able to use Customer Match. Something new-ish that I noticed, after reading the Google Help article and docs recently is that anyone can use Google Customer Match as long as they're as long as they have a good history of compliance and a good payment history. Anyone can use Google Customer Match, but the difference between actually using Google Customer Match to target versus not is very apparent. So anyone that's using Google Ads can use Customer Match, but if you have not had 90 days of Google Ads account history and you have not spent more than $50,000 within the lifetime of your account, you only be able to observe your audience, your customer match list audience, which means you're not going to be able to necessarily target them. You can just observe how they perform. But of course, the main reason why you would want to be using Google Customer Match is because you want to be able to target these users. So once you've hit 90 days of Google Ads history and more than $50,000 of US dollars spent, and if you're in another country, it just has to be the equivalent of 50,000 US dollars, then you can use Customer Match and similar audiences for Customer Match or lookalikes in targeting and observation settings. So you will be able to target, you won't just have it in observation mode. So you'll be able to set manual bid adjustments and exclusions at this point, but if you haven't hit that 90-day threshold or the $50,000 of lifetime ad spend, you'll only be able to observe. You won't be able to actually target or make adjustments on your actual audience. And when I say adjustments, I mean prioritizing bidding up on the audiences or bidding down. And another thing that you need to be aware of is that Google Customer Match audiences can only be used with automated bidding strategies. So if you are using manual CPC, it's not going to allow you to properly set this up. You need to be using automated bid strategies, and then you have to have a minimum membership duration of up to 540 days. So you can set up the membership duration of your list. Membership duration is how long these people can stay on the list. So it really just depends. If you don't want these people to stay on very long, you could set it to a shorter duration, but the longest they can stay is 540 days. And if it's exceeded that time frame, then you're not going to be able to use the list anymore. So it's important to keep the list refreshed, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in detail. Couple other things, because I've had this issue come up when talking to other potential clients about Customer Match. You may only upload customer info that you collected in the first party context, which include info you collected on your website, apps, physical stores, or other situations where customers shared their information directly with you. This does not mean that you can go and buy a list from Apollo.io or from a local competitor that's looking to potentially sell their store sometime soon, or any other way to get a list where you haven't actually gotten the permission to get these people on this specific list. So these people have to have opted in, whether it's through your website, app, physical store. There has to be some type of privacy policy that discloses that you share customer data with third parties like Google. And then also you can only use Google's API or user interface to upload customer data. And then you also must comply with all local applicable laws and regulations. Definitely check with the state or country that you're in to make sure that you're abiding by all the laws. But that's pretty much it in terms of how to go about collecting the data for Google Customer Match. Do not use data purchased from sources if you haven't actually gotten permission from these users to contact them via, not necessarily contact them, but to be opted into this list in order to be targeted. Another thing that is important here is you must have at least 1,000 users on the list to serve. My recommendation to anyone that's looking to run a Google Customer Match is aim to have at least 2,000 users or more on the list, because if you only upload a list of 1,000, your match rate might be a lot less than 100%, and you're not going to be able to actually use this list in Google Customer Match. So these are things that you have to keep in mind. Aim to have at least 2,000 or more. Anything less than that, you might not have that strong of a match. So, and what I mean by match is Google won't be able to identify every single user on your list, depending on if this user has like an AOL email or they may have moved from a specific address after they provided you their information, or they may have changed their phone number. But just keep in mind that a good match rate is probably around an 80%. That's what I will see. But lately I've been seeing it a lot better. It just depends on how much data you could provide to Google about the user, so that Google has richer data to go then try to identify those users. And if anyone's curious, this is the specific help article. I'll drop it in the description below if you're interested in actually reading the specific language around how the Google Match works. But I did a quick summary here in order to explain how it works and all the eligibility requirements and what you need to do to actually collect your customer data. Now let me take you through how you can set up Google Customer Match within your Google Ads account. So I'm going to go log into my customer sample account here, and I'm going to go to the search bar and type in audiences. Then I'm going to click on audiences, and then start out with your data segments. Click on that plus icon here, and then click on customer list. Once you are there, you have the option to collect a new data source, upload a file manually, or skip this step and set up a data source later. What I typically use is upload a file manually. If you have a CRM, like Salesforce or HubSpot, you can connect it and you won't even need to upload a file. But 99% of the time when I'm doing this, I'll upload a file, but you can use Salesforce. If you have Salesforce or HubSpot or any of these other platforms, you can just do a direct integration and you don't need to upload the file manually. So this example is going to show you how to just upload it manually, because I'm assuming that's probably where most of you guys are coming from and what you're looking to do. Upload a file manually, continue, audience segment name, customer match, March 2025. And then I'm going to type in all customers. Well, you can actually select what type of list you're uploading. So you could say, let's just say these are qualified leads. Or you know what, I'll just put all customers, because these really are customers. Then you can select the data type that you'd like to upload. Emails, phone numbers, or mailing address, user IDs, mobile IDs. This is probably going to be the one you're going to want to upload. This is going to be what I'm going to upload. Emails, phone numbers, and or email addresses. And then once you go here, go down to data to upload, then you can download the template that Google has, and you must follow the formatting guidelines. So give me a second to have this downloaded, and I'm going to open it up so you could see. You pull this out of your CRM, but you just need to make sure that it's formatted properly. It doesn't necessarily need to be capitalized. And in this example here, Google has everything all in lowercase. So the row is corresponding to that one person. So here, John Smith, this is John Smith's phone number. He's in the US. This is a zip code. If there's no email, you leave it blank. If there's no zip code, you leave it blank. But of course, the more data, the better, because then you get a better chance of matching to the user within Google, because then Google is going to then go into its backend database and see, okay, John Smith, here's his email, here's his address, here's his zip code, here's his phone number. Okay, this is the correct John Smith. I know exactly how to go about targeting him. Joanna Smith, same thing. She's in, zip code 101300. This is her email. This is her zip code. Okay, I found the right person. Now we're going to go hash her data and we're going to go set her up for targeting. So that's how you go about doing it. You need to set it up in this exact format while following all of the rules here. Lowercase all characters, and remove all extra spaces before or in between email addresses and names. Yeah, so just make sure you're following all these guidelines here. And then the example I have here, this is a sample list that I'd uploaded way back a couple years ago for a client. I just quickly pulled this up and removed some personal information. When I uploaded it, I had the first names, last names, addresses, cities, states, zip codes, date of birth, country, email, cell phone, and phone number. And when I originally uploaded it, I just had everything except for cell phone and phone number, and my match rate was only about an 18%. But when I went ahead and included the cell phone and phone numbers, my match rate then skyrocketed up to about 80%. So just FYI, that just goes to show that the more data that you provide to Google, the better. So try to make your sheets as detailed as possible in order to increase your match rate so you have a better chance of uploading and having Google find these users within the Google Ads universe and serve your ads to these specific users. After you're done with that and saving the file as a CSV, you're going to drop that in here and then go ahead and click save and continue. After you've selected your membership duration, like I'd mentioned, the highest duration that you could set is 540. So I'm just going to set that. And then, for the example, let's just say I already went ahead and saved it in there. Then click save and continue, and then it will show you the specific list shown up here. The name of the list, the customer type, the segment, how many users are on the list, and is your list big enough to use on search, YouTube, display, or Gmail. Gmail you can't serve on its own these days, but that's how Google's showing it here. And then from there, you'd be able to set up your Google Ads customer match campaign. So if you're interested in a part 2 of this video and how to go about setting up Google customer match campaigns, I can certainly do that. So drop below if you are interested in that. And also let me know if you found this video helpful in sharing exactly what Google Customer Match is, the best use cases, as well as how to go about setting it up. Another thing to note is it can take up to 24 to 48 hours for all of the data to actually be populated. So just because you upload it right now and it's showing 0 across the search, YouTube, and display on Gmail, don't be concerned. Give it more time. As long as you formatted your spreadsheets properly, you should not have any issues as long as you have set up your As long as you have set up your spreadsheets properly, you shouldn't have any issues with the actual matching. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and let me know what was your biggest takeaway. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I post videos every week. And let me know if you're interested in a part 2. I'm happy to create that for you. So let me know below and I'll see you guys in the next video.